Sporting Dog Adventures, run, boy,
That
run.
was awesome.
Everything you
Good
need
boy.
is here under the sun. Everything you need is here under the sun.
Welcome to Sporting Dog Adventures. Today, I've got my pupil. His name is Zeke. We are going to teach you all about e-collar conditioning. When you use an e-collar or electric collar, as they are known, you need to first condition a dog to the collar. Conditioning means that we are teaching the dog how to turn off the pressure. You do not want to take a collar and immediately put it on a dog and then use the collar as punishment. One, it's not humane. We want to teach the dog how to turn the collar off or the pressure off so that we have them learning and we're not punishing. Two, you will get a dog that is collar-wise, which a collar-wise dog is a dog that, in essence, understands that the collar is shocking them and will not listen when the collar is not on them. So it pretty much makes it where you have to have the collar on them all the time to get them to listen. What we will do is we are going to condition the dog to turn the collar off. The collar also will be on for at least a week before we try this, so the dog doesn't associate the collar with the correction. They'll actually think that for some reason they're getting this electric stimulation on them, but it's not necessarily from the collar. So it makes it more effective. It makes it so that in many applications you don't have to have the dog with a collar on them after a certain point, and it also makes it far more effective in the field. With a collar, the first thing you have to do is put it on. You're going to put it on so that it is no more than 2 fingers that can fit in between the dog's neck and the collar strap. The reason that you need it on this tight is not for punishment. You actually have 2 probes which the electric flows between, and this is how the dog gets its correction. If the dog does not have the collar on tight and turns their head, one of the probes will come off their neck. You will actually turn the collar up to make your impression on them, like, hey, you're not listening. The dog now turns its head back and you have overstimulated the dog. You've used too much pressure on the dog. It's going to create a problem with their training attitude, and it's also going to make you not as functional as a trainer and not work as well with the dog. So what we want to do is we want to put the collar on so that it's good and tight, but not too tight, and have it so that we have good probe connections. With labs, we can use the short probes. With long-haired dogs, the collars will come with longer probes. So it's going to be where you look at your dog, look at their coat type, and then add in the type of probe that you want on the collar from there. Next thing we need to do is figure out what level of stimulation the collar needs to be at. Every dog is different. Start at the lowest setting. You can push the button. The dog had no reaction. You turn the collar up a couple of clicks, and now you saw the dog, he kind of hunched up a little bit and his ears came forward and he looked around. That's perfect. That's what you want. You might have the dog where they vocalize slightly, then you're going to want to back it off, but you're going to want it where they actually feel the collar. You can tell that they're looking around, not knowing what happened. That is their starting point. Once we get past the starting point of knowing what level we're at, we're now going to work to the collar conditioning. Collar conditioning is teaching a dog how to turn a collar off, which is that if they do a certain request that we are giving them, a command, that they will not get corrected, or in essence in their brain they can beat the correction. We first work with the dog at heel while we're walking, and every 3 to 5 times that we're telling the dog to sit, we will push the button on the collar. You're going to walk them for about 10 minutes and you're going to sit them on numerous occasions, and you're going to go for probably between 5 and 10 electrical stimulations on each session. So we're not going to shock them with the collar multiple times. We're going to give them their electrical stimulation on 5 to 10 different occasions. Sporting Dog Adventures is presented by the Kansas Department of Wildlife, Parks and Tourism, Boucher Automotive, Fleet Farm, Heavy Shot, Mac Outdoors, Rite inertia-driven shotguns, and Soggy Acres Retrievers. Hey, welcome to Season 9 of Sporting Dog Adventures. Please like our videos, share them, and spread the word to all your friends. So we're going to walk the dog, heel, heel, sit. Good boy, heel, heel, good boy, heel, sit. Good boy. That time I actually used the collar. Heel, heel, good, heel, sit. Good boy, heel. Come on, good boy, heel, sit. Good. heel, come on, heel. You'll actually see he is lagging behind me, sit, and he's actually almost dragging his butt. He understands he's going to get corrected if he doesn't sit, so he's actually trying to beat me to it before I even tell him sit. Here, come on, hey, 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 good boy, come on, here, heel, good, sit, and that time we use the collar, heel, good boy, come here, heel, sit, good. You're going to have an area that you either take him for a walk around the block or down a long driveway. And then when you're using the here command, it's here and pulling him toward you. Good boy. This time we're, nope, sit. And again, he wants to come to me because we've done this for a few days. Sit, 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 here. And again, that time I nicked him with the collar, corrected him with the collar, and pulled him toward me. Again, you don't want him to do something that's called bolting, which would be to run the other direction to try to turn off the collar pressure. You want him to come to you. So it's making sure that you have this on him so he understands the way you turn a collar off is to come to you. Here, good boy, good, sit. Here, good boy, sit. Heel, good boy, heel, sit. And then we're going to go back and we're going to mix and match the two commands with stimulations every 3 to 5 times for a couple of days while we're working with have the dog stationary and having the dog come to us. Once we get through that, we're going to start using the collar in the field. The big thing here is we only use collars for correcting something that the dog has already learned. We do not use it as punishment. We're using this as a teaching tool, and the dog needs to understand a command before you ever employ a collar. So if it's something as easy as putting a dog into a dog blind, you're using the kennel command. Once the dog knows that that means kennel, if they get to the point at some day when they're obstinate and they don't want to go in, you can actually sit them in front of it and say kennel and give them an electrical stimulation. It can be used to let them know that their behavior is not proper, but we're never going to use it for punishment. I hope that helps. I hope this was a good training tip for you. Thanks for watching.
Nothing beats a good pheasant hunt with my sons. We're headed to Kansas this winter. The state has some of the world's best populations of upland game, making it one of America's top bird hunting destinations. Kansas provides mixed bag opportunities and 1.5 million acres of public hunting lands. All that makes Kansas an ideal destination. The season runs from the second weekend in November to the end of January. Go to ksoutdoors.com and plan your trip today.